I just now got 20 graded music cards back from SGC, and let's take a look at their grades. Before I get ahead of myself, my name is Reed, and I've been collecting rare music cards for over 30 years. I searched the globe for hard to find music cards, both vintage and not so vintage, to add to my always growing collection. I don't consider myself an expert at any of this. I'm just a guy with a camera enjoying this crazy hobby. Feel free to come along every Sunday where I'll post a new video showing my inside look at how I go about growing my collection. Welcome to collecting music cards. All right, let's take a look at this SGC graded submission that I just got back. All right, so these are going to be the cards that they did not grade, and I'm fine with that. I often send them cards that I think there's not a possibility. And what these are is I really feel they should grade these, or not grade them. All I wanted was these authenticated. These are 1971 Bergman Verlag Hit Parade stickers, and these are without their backs. These are ones that were taken nicely recovered out of the out of an album, and all I wanted was them authenticated, and I've sent them to PSA and SGC now, and they've sent them back, and they're not going to authenticate those, and that's fine. If that's what they don't want to do, that's fine with me. I'll try another company, and then probably after a while I'll have to give up. Okay, I'll just move these over here for now. And then I will, you know what, I'm going to do those first, the big cards first. And we will just set those right there then. All right, let's start off with these. Now, what these are, these first, let's see here. I remember what was here. These first four cards are recovery cards from a Bergman album from 1969. And this first card is of the Beach Boys. It's actually been recovered from an album, as I said. And let me take this out of their sleeve that they put it in. Oh, nice and clean. Really good looking. They gave it a 1.5, which is an okay grade for a recovery card. The front of this card is absolutely perfect. You can see it's a little bit bigger card, so it's going into a bigger holder. PSA would call this a tall boy holder. And then the back of the card is a recovery from an album, so you're going to see there's going to be residual glue here, 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 and here. You might not be able to see that too well, but that's there, and that's what's taking it down to a 1.5, whereas this card, based on the centering, the condition, and all that, probably could have been a good solid 7 or 8 if this card was never glued into an album. I don't work on removing any of this glue or anything like that. I just want to leave it, the best we can get it out of the album. And I've dealt a lot with recovery cards in the past, and they do hold good values still. Even though it's only a 1.5, it still has a good value. Beatles, and this is a 1.5. And there we go. Next up, Jimi Hendrix. Very nice Hendrix card. That is a 1.5. And that still holds some good value there. And last but certainly not least is Pink Floyd. And that's from 69 Bergman Star Parade. And that is a 1.5. And there we go right there on that one. Really cool card. You can see the reason it's 1.5 is the back there is going to have a little bit of glue residual on it. You can see that right there and there. All right. Next up, this is from a different set, but a 1969 Bergman set as well. Those were called Star Parade, and this is actually from one called Showtop Stars. And this is the Bob Dylan. This is not a recovery card. This is an actual card that's never been stuck in an album. And that is Bob Dylan, and that is on an SGC 5 right there. So that's a nice one there. Beautiful. All right. And I'll put these aside over here. And let's see. These I will start. I'm just going to keep these in a stack here. Let me unwrap this one. And this first one is the only NME card I set in here. That's from NME magazine, New Musical Express. And that was from 1992. And that is a Kurt Cobain card. 8.5, I'm real happy with the grade there. That's fine. I thought it was a little cleaner than that, but that's what they gave me, an 8.5. That's Kurt Cobain, 1992, which makes it part of the first year of Kurt Cobain or Nirvana cards. The earliest known cards of Nirvana are coming from 1992. I don't know of anything earlier than that. And that is an 8.5 on that card, and that has a really nice value on that one. So we'll put that right there. And the next up, these are Kerrang cards. Basically, these Kerrang cards came from, let me make sure that, I know there's some other cards other than Kerrang in here. I'm going to separate those out so as not to create some confusion. There we go. I'll do those cards last over there. Let's go through the Kerrang cards. What these are is these came out of Kerrang magazine, 1993. It's a UK magazine for rock and metal, and it was a very popular magazine. And these cards were actually in 4 of the issues that came out in 1993. There was a little bag at the bottom stuck right to, or actually taped right to the front of the magazine, the little bag with there were spades in one bag, clubs, hearts, and diamonds. 4 different bags, 4 different magazines. I had all 4 magazines with the cards still on them, never removed from there. And that's where these cards came from. I finally decided to open the little bags, pull the cards out. Everything was in really, really nice shape. And I still have the magazines. And here's the grading of those cards. I finally broke down and decided to send those in. So let's start with that. And right off the back, we've got Lars Ulrich from Metallica. And this one turned out to be a 7. I wasn't expecting a 7 on any of these. I was expecting a little bit higher on these because these were very, very fresh. Very nice condition. But we'll see how this goes here. And there's Lars right there. Next up, Ann Wilson. Only got a 6 on Ann Wilson. I'm just checking the glare on here. There's no surface issue whatsoever. Boy, I don't know where they're coming up with that, but let's just not worry about the grades right now. I'll tell you what the grades are. 6 on Ann Wilson. I'm a big Heart fan. Next up, we've got Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and he got an 8 right there. And just to show you the backs of these cards, that's what the Kerrang card looks like. It's pretty nice. Kerrang magazine. These are 1993. And next up is Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction, 8.5. There we are. And then we've got Lemmy from Motorhead, 8.5. I'll take that. Next is Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. I was waiting for this one. Only a 7. Only a 7. That's a little disappointing, but there we are right there nonetheless. Chris Cornell, 1993. Kurt Cobain, an 8 from 1993. That's a second year Cobain right there. And Eddie Vedder. Oh, only a 6 on this one. They were not liking this one. I see no surface issue. I see no kinking or... Wow, a 6. And I see really nice edges. Okay, that might be one, a good contender to crack out and see how well we can do on a second run. That's Eddie Vedder. And here we've got Lane Staley. Very popular card in this set. Everyone's always asking about this one. And this one only worked out to be a 7. Another card I may crack and try it again. And then we've got James Hetfield from Metallica. And he is in an 8. Can't complain about an 8. So I don't think I got any 9s. I don't think I got any 10s. I didn't get any 10s here. They were pretty tough on these. So there we go there. And let me put these aside. And then these are the OK VIP cards. Now what these are is these are from 1973. Very colorful caricature type set out of Italy. It's a Panini set. And from 1973, and this is a Hendrix. And that worked out to be an SGC 5 on that one there. If you know music cards, you've seen this one before. I've always had these before. I've had a lot of these in PSA. This is my first SGC. That's probably the lowest grade I've ever had there so far. And that is the Hendrix card. And next up is the Rolling Stones. And that Rolling Stones card is a 4. They're not liking these too well. And here's a Beatles card. That one is also an SGC 4. And finally, we have another Hendrix. And this Hendrix did not do so well. It did not meet their minimum size requirement, so they are under the impression that this card is undersized. But they did authenticate it, which is nice. I love the fact that the card is authenticated, even though they don't like it completely all the way around. It is a real card, and it still does hold some value, just being authentic. So there we go. So that is... I don't know how many cards I had here, probably around 20 or something like that. I'm real happy with everything here. There's a couple of cards that I'd like to see a little bit higher grades, and what I'll do with that is if I feel it's going to be productive to maybe crack them out and resubmit them, I might try to do that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you next time.